Creature collectors are an overdone genre. You catch things, you level things, you win. Nobody's done anything interesting with the formula in years, and honestly, most of us stopped expecting them to. Voidling Bound made me feel stupid for thinking that. And it's a lot. I have a lot to say about it, so let's just jump right in. Hi gamers, it's your host Stormy, and welcome to The Day Show. I review life sims, cozy games, adventure games, and city builders. Today we're talking about Voidling Bound, a sci-fi creature collector, third-person shooter action RPG game that released on Steam on June 9th, 2026 at a retail price point of $25. Thank you to the devs for giving me early access so I could give you the breakdown that you're watching currently. The premise is this. You're a space wrangler, which is apparently a job title that exists in the future, and your mission is to cleanse planets that have been overrun by something called the corruption. Think alien parasites, robots, swarms of enemies, all that fun stuff. To fight this corruption, you don't just pick up a gun and go. You bond with creatures called voidlings, alien beings that you hatch from eggs. And then you literally enter their bodies and fight through them. Yes, like Avatar, the blue people one, not the last Airbender. I kept thinking about this while playing. The whole spiritual connection, the inhabiting of another being to interact with the world, the protect the ecosystem from outside invaders angle. Voidling Bound is essentially what you'd get if Avatar, Palworld, and Spyro had a baby. And then that baby was raised by a competent development team, which is not always a given. Now let's talk about the actual creatures, because this is clearly the heart of the game. You build a party up to 9 voidlings, one being your main, your bonded voidling, the one that you actually play as during missions. The other 8 live in your sanctuary where they exist in peace, looking cute, and doing absolutely nothing, which I totally respect. You find voidlings by hatching eggs that you collect during missions. Different eggs give you different types, different variants, different rarities. There are 5 element types: poison, ice, electricity, fire, and plasma. Each comes with its own ability set and its own combat feel. So switching between them isn't just cosmetic, it actually does change how you play. Each voidling has a branching evolution path. You make choices as they grow that change their appearance, their elemental alignment, and their playstyle. The game is not shy about giving you all sorts of different options. Now I want to be upfront about something. This game has a lot of systems. A lot. I'm not going to cover every single one of them because frankly, I think you should discover some of them yourself, but let me walk you through some of the main ones. As your voidlings level up, you assign attribute points across 5 different categories: strength, vitality, essence, recuperation, and agility. These let you shape your voidling's role: tanky bruiser, glass cannon, speedy harasser, whatever you want. And eventually, you unlock access to a trainer who gives you additional upgrade paths on top of the base leveling system. It's another layer to dig into when you're ready for it. Each voidling type has its own skill tree that you unlock gradually: more depth, more customization, more reasons to care about your specific lineup. And the one that genuinely impressed me, once you unlock it, you can fully customize a voidling's appearance, ability structure, the whole thing. Body parts, colors, eyes, ability genes, mutated perks. You're not just picking a paint color. You're building something from scratch using everything you've collected so far. It is legitimately so cool, and I did not expect to spend as much time there as I did, but it's just so fun making a voidling that is specific to you. For the people who want harder content, there is an endless escalating challenge mode called the Abyss. Each layer gets harder, rewards get better, and you can push as deep as you want or retreat. You can also equip corrupted DNA catalyzers, which is a phrase I enjoy saying, to push your creatures beyond their normal stat limits. Like I said, there's a lot of systems, but none of them feel overwhelming, which is genuinely hard to pull off sometimes when you introduce so many different things. But the game introduces them at a reasonable pace and lets you engage with them on your own terms. Okay, so the description on the store page says action-packed third-person shooter, and that's accurate, but also undersells the variety. Combat is legitimately fun. You're shooting, slashing, slamming, blasting, and the specific combination of things depends entirely on which Voidling you're playing. An ice type plays different than a plasma type, which plays different than a poison type. You've also got evasion mechanics, dodging, blocking, and ultimate abilities that you charge up and unleash for big damage. It's not a twin-stick shooter, it's more of an action RPG type of feel. This is where the Spyro comparison keeps coming up for me. There's something about the movement, the pacing, the way the combat flows that scratches a very specific itch from that era of games. It's not identical, obviously, but the vibe is there. I really can't explain it further than that. I am just living off vibes over here. Exploring a planet, fighting enemies, finding secrets, cleansing an area, and move on, it just has that kind of satisfying progression loop. The missions have you landing on different planets, you're defeating enemies, collecting resources, finding eggs, and ultimately taking on a boss to fully clean the planet. The enemies are varied and each type poses different challenges, so it doesn't become entirely mindless. And I wanted to specifically address resources because this is something that can make or break a game like this. You will never feel starved. Resources drop regularly, they feel rewarding to collect, and none of the progression systems ever made me feel like I was stuck grinding the same area for 3 hours just to unlock the next thing. The loop feels very generous without being trivial. That balance is hard to achieve, and the devs definitely got it right. Boss difficulty is also well calibrated. The game tells you the recommended level before you go in, so if you're at that level, the fight feels fair. Sometimes challenging, but fair. If you're significantly underleveled, well, that's on you. There's no point where the game is secretly scaling enemies behind your back to grief you or anything like that. It's very upfront. You can't customize your human character at all. You're just the Space Wrangler. That's you now. And normally this would bother me, but in Voidling Bound, it doesn't, because the splice system gives you so much creative control over your actual party that the human player kind of just becomes irrelevant. You're going to be playing as your Voidling anyway, so the human is kind of just like navigating menu screens. And yes, the part that everybody is waiting for, yes, you can pet your Voidling. I tested it, it works, it registers, the Voidling acknowledges you, they look very cute, 10 out of 10, done, going home, nothing else needs to be said. Okay, look, I cover a lot of games. I've played a lot of creature collectors and a lot of RPGs. A lot of things that describe themselves as genre reinventing. Most of them are not really very reinventing at all. Voidling Bound is not pretending to be something it's not. It's a creature collector where you actually play as the creatures with a generous progression loop, a surprising amount of mechanical depth, and a genuine sense of personality in how it's all built. The planets feel crafted, the Voidlings feel distinct, the systems are interconnected in ways that make you engage with all of them rather than ignoring half of them. For $25, this is an easy recommendation if creature collectors are anywhere near your wheelhouse. If you've played Pal World and like the creature aspect more than the base building, if you like Pokemon but always wanted more actual combat control, if Spyro left some kind of permanent mark on your brain at a young age, this game is for you. If this helped you figure out whether this game is worth your time, please don't forget to like and subscribe. I do this so that you don't have to impulse buy another game that you'll play for 20 seconds. If you want to stick around, I've got another review popping up on your screen soon. Thank you all so much for your endless support, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!